What's going on, everyone? Tyler Edwards here. In this video, we're going to be taking a look at this tiny yet mighty little light, the Amaran 60D. So let's go ahead and take a look at the physical features of it and all that stuff. Now, if I'm talking really fast, which I just called myself out talking really fast, is because I just got back from Miami and I had like one of those Cuban coffees, and I'm pretty sure that caffeine is still kicking through me 2 days later. So yeah, so let's go ahead and take a look at it. So we have on the front, we have a Bowens S-mount in the front, and that's really awesome. As tiny as this light is, they still managed to get a Bowens S-mount in here. And this is really nice because you can use existing S-mount accessories, Bowens S-mount accessories that you may have, such as the Light Doe Mini or the Lantern, or some other ones that Aperture doesn't make, like a Snoot or something like that. So tons of versatility with mounting, and if you have existing Aperture COB lights, then your accessories should work no problem. On the bottom, we have a 1/4-20 thread here for mounting, and you can see here I've just got like the Ronin S little tripod feet, and then a little monitor mount to swivel, and it's actually kind of neat. Anyways, on the side here, we've got a simple little screen. It gives you basically an indication of what your output is set at. And then on the top right-hand corner, you have a little Bluetooth symbol because it actually works with the Sidus Link app. Now here on the back side of the unit, we have a little control knob here on the bottom left-hand side. And this control knob is kind of a multi-function control knob. And what I mean by that is if you turn it left or right, you can change the output, and it's nice because this light actually has stepless dimming, which is really good. So it's a nice smooth transition. So you can change the intensity that way, or if you push the knob in, you can change it in 20% increments. So from 20 to 40, 60, 80, 100. And when you're at 100 and you hit it again, it goes back down to 20%. So it's a nice way to navigate really quickly through the different settings of intensity. You have a fan here behind these little grates right here for active cooling. So that's really nice. And it's a very, very quiet fan. So you're no issues with fan noise or anything like that. You have a DC power in here on the bottom right hand corner. It's a locking barrel connection, which is really nice, keeps it nice and secure. You have a little power switch, and then you have a little release button right here, which is the release for this built-in V-Lock receiver, which is really nice. And right now I've just got a V-mount battery on here powering the camera, so that's a really good segue to talk about how to actually power. I said camera, to power this light. This is not a camera. So powering this light, you can power it a number of different ways. You can power it with the included AC power adapter. So if you're in a studio environment and you don't need to run it off of battery power, just run it off the included power adapter, which has a really, really generous lead on it. It's a really long power adapter, so you can kind of get quite a bit of reach out of it, which is really nice. Or you can power it off of this right here. This is an included battery plate. It's an MPF battery plate adapter with a little V-Lock adapter on the back, so you can mount it to the side of the light. And then it's got the locking barrel connection here, so your power connection is nice and secure. Or you can do what I've done right here and mount it off of a V-mount battery. Now, it doesn't come with a D-tap to barrel connection cable here. I just happen to have one laying around, but it's really nice. It allows you to power this light off of a V-mount battery, and since it has this built-in V-Lock adapter or receiver, you can just mount the batteries right next to it, and using these little tiny little micro light or batteries is really nice to power this light. Now, speaking of power, how much power does this light actually draw? Well, I used a kilowatt meter, which is a really accurate way of measuring power draw. And with the included AC adapter at 100%, you're getting 84 watts at about 0.6 amps. So that just kind of gives you an idea of the power draw. So if you're running these off of these little V-mount batteries, depending on the size of your battery, kind of use that to kind of determine how much runtime you might get from your batteries. Now, the other thing that it ships with, which is really nice, is this little adapter right here. This is a light stand adapter, so you can put this on, say, like a baby pin or something of your light stand or seat stand or whatever the case may be. And then it comes with this little adapter right here. It's got a 1/4 20 thread here on the top, and then it just slides right into here, locks down, and it's nice and solid and secure. Now, normally I don't really like these kind of adapters because they're all usually plasticky and break really easily and stuff, but this thing is made completely out of metal, so it's super solid, so there's no issues or concerns of this thing breaking or anything like that. And then you can see here, there's this tiny little circle right here. This is actually for to mount an umbrella. So if you're just getting into building out like a lighting kit, maybe for a YouTube studio or something, and you're trying to do as affordable as possible, get an umbrella, you put it right in there, and your whole setup is right there, and umbrellas are really affordable. So it's a good way to kind of get into professional lighting without absolutely breaking the bank. So that being said, let's get into some use cases and just kind of my thoughts of this actual unit. So when I initially unboxed this thing and I pulled this out of the case that it shipped in, the first thought I had was, holy smokes, this thing is so compact. And I just got so excited because I immediately knew, I know this thing is gonna be perfect for traveling, especially if you don't want to, if you just want to bring one light just to have on hand. You can maybe not even have to check any bags. So I tested that theory, and I just went to Miami for a shoot, and it was a very run and gun kind of guerrilla style shooting, but I knew that I had to film an interview, and I wanted to be able to light it and control the lighting a little bit more than just using the lights that were at the location that we're filming the interview. So I thought, can I bring this and the stuff that I needed for the shoot without having to check any bags? And I did. I put this light in my backpack, my little f-stop Guru backpack, with a full-size V-mount charger, dual V-mount charger, my Canon LC-E9, the 1DX Mark III battery charger, and all the cables. I fit that in there, and my clothes in the backpack, and then I have my Pelican case with me with my cameras and everything. And the reason why that's so exciting to me is because if I'm doing these little shoots like this where I don't need to have a bunch of lights and all that stuff, but I still want to light an interview, I can bring this little thing, bounce it into the ceiling or into a wall or something like that, and still be able to get nice, pleasing looking light without having to check a bunch of bags and all that kind of stuff. But this light is so versatile because you can see how tiny this thing is. I mean, right here, I've got this right here that I've just got it mounted on this little arm right here. So if I needed to if I had someone with me that I needed to just like Hollywood a light in, I mean, you've got that right here. I mean, it's so stinking versatile because of how tiny it is. Also, like if you're doing an interview in a location, and you have a bunch of other lights, you can use these little lights as little accent lights to just start throwing interest on, in the background, maybe on a plant or on the floor or whatever the case may be. And the fact that these things are so tiny and lightweight, you can rig these things pretty much anywhere. In fact, recently on this trip in Miami, I didn't bring the little light stand adapter. I actually brought this little right here. There's just a magic arm with a little clamp here on the side, and I just used this to mount the light. So I just walked around to just when I was trying to find a location, I did not have to worry about where I could mount the light because I can mount it anywhere. I mean, you can use this to mount to a cabinet door and use that, or a door and use that as your light stand. Or what I did is I just mounted it to a chair and just bounce the light straight up and just mount it like that. And you pretty much have a light stand anywhere you go. And because the light is so lightweight, you can really mount this thing anywhere, which is really exciting. So lots of versatility with mounting, and the light is super bright. I'm not going to go into all the photometrics in this video, simply because Aperture's claims on their website with their photometrics, with everything from intensity to color accuracy and everything, seems to be spot on, and that's been confirmed by independent testers such as that of like Tommy Callaway, Dave Donaldson with Grip Tips, Andrew Locke with Gaffer and Gear, and of course Curtis Judd. So basically all their independent testing has kind of led me to believe, to really believe and trust what Aperture is saying with their photometrics. Now, is this light a replacement for a 600D? Absolutely not. I mean, it's a different tool for a different job, just like cameras are different tools for different jobs. But this light is so stinking versatile and so affordable. Like, I want to get like 10 of these lights just to have in my kit for mounting to various locations, all that kind of stuff. They're just so stinking versatile. I mean, it could be used for hair light, like I said, for accent lights, for getting visual interest in the background, and just having all these, especially on Sidus Link, that you can use to start putting in the scene and start kind of painting the scene with different light. They also make a bicolor version of this, the 60X. This is just the 60D. So they also have a bicolor version. So if you wanted to kind of get that tungsten color without having to gel it, you can do that as well. So all that being said, this is just an extremely versatile light. Now, who do I think it's for? I think it's for anybody that has a lighting kit. Simply put, these lights are so versatile and so useful to have on set that I don't see why anybody wouldn't have a few of these, at least 3 of these in their lighting kit. YouTube content creators, if you're building out a YouTube studio and you don't have any lights or anything, this would be the first light I would recommend. And getting a little umbrella mount, or getting a little umbrella to put in the little light stand mount that it comes with, you've got a really great light, and you're gonna have a good key light for your talking head stuff like this. But yeah, I mean, there's just so many reasons why you'd want to pick one of these up. So I plan on getting a handful of more of these, just because they're so lightweight, they're so small, and you can pack so many of these. I mean, think of, like, you know, your 120Ds or something like that. I don't know off the top of my head if they're in the same output or something, but, like, you know, you can have 3 or 4 of these for the price of one 120D, and now you're sitting with a ton of output. And you have 4 of these mounted maybe behind a scrim or something for a key light, and you're going to be able to get a nice amount of output to throw through a scrim, through like maybe a quarter, half grid cloth or something like that, to get a nice key light. And having 4 of these, you can put them, you know, spread them nice and evenly throughout the whole scrim, so you get a nice even light, so you don't get any hot spots. So I'm just like spitting off ideas here. I mean, there's just so many use cases for these tiny little lights. So that's pretty much all I have to say about this light. I think it's a fantastic light. I highly recommend you pick up 1 or 2 or 10 of these lights, because I just see the value in this light because of how tiny it is, but how much output it puts out. So anyways, that's pretty much all I have to say about this light. I think it's fantastic. You should go order one. I'll leave links down in the description below and all that kind of good stuff. If you found this helpful or useful or anything like that, definitely let me know down in the comments. Hit that subscribe button and give it a thumbs up. If you don't have anything else to say about this light or this video thing, then you can comment on this shirt. This is Dave Donaldson with Grip Tips, and he's on this shirt. So just say hi to Dave.